Life is like the ocean, deep, mysterious, and often frightening. There are moments when you feel yourself sinking, being pulled down by the weight of circumstances, problems, disappointments. Fear whispers in your ear that you won't make it, that it's too late, that you should give up. But there's a truth that few understand. At the bottom of life's ocean, where everything seems lost, that's exactly where the greatest treasures are hidden. When you decide to dive deep, when you choose to face your fears instead of running from them, something extraordinary happens. You discover courage you never imagined you possessed. Each breath becomes more conscious, each movement more determined, and even in the darkness, even when the light seems distant, you keep moving forward. Because winners don't wait for perfect conditions, they create conditions. They dive when others stay at the surface, afraid of getting wet. Think about how many people have shipwrecked not because the ocean was too violent, but because they stopped swimming. How many dreams have sunk not because they were impossible, but because someone stopped believing in them. The difference between sinking and conquering isn't in the storms you face, it's in the decision you make when water starts entering the boat. Will you surrender to panic, or will you fight for your survival? At the bottom of life's sea, there are wrecks, ships that didn't reach their destination, dreams that were abandoned. There are also skulls, remains of those who gave up too soon. They are dark reminders of what happens when we allow fear to paralyze us. But look, these wrecks don't define your destiny. They're just part of the landscape. You can choose to become another wreck, or you can choose to be the diver who explores, who investigates, who learns from past mistakes and moves forward. The sharks are always nearby. They represent dangers, threats, people who don't believe in you, obstacles that seem insurmountable. But here's the secret. Sharks only attack those who show weakness, who act like prey. When you move with purpose, when you have a clear mission, when you're equipped with the right tools and the right mindset, even sharks respect your presence. They swim around you, but they don't touch you, because you're not a victim, you're a conqueror. And then, in the middle of the darkness, you find something, a chest, closed, covered by the corrosion of time. How many people passed by it and didn't even notice? How many gave up before reaching it? But not you. You persevered. And when you open that chest, when you have the courage to unfold the ancient map that was stored inside it, a message appears before your eyes, illuminated by your own light. It only depends on you. Not on your boss, not on the economy, not on luck. On you, on your choices, on your perseverance, on your faith. This is the most liberating truth and at the same time the most frightening one you can discover. Liberating because it means you have the power. Frightening because it means you have the responsibility. There are no more excuses. There are no more culprits. Your life, your results, your future. Everything depends on the decisions you make today, now, at this exact moment. You continue exploring. Each discovery teaches you something new. The skull with the pirate bandana sitting on the submerged throne shows you that even kings and conquerors of the past had their end. But the difference is that they lived, they reigned, they conquered. They didn't shipwreck for lack of trying. They lived intensely until their last breath. And you? Are you living or just existing? Are you building your kingdom or admiring the kingdoms of others? But then something magical happens. You leave behind the darkness, the wreckage, the skeletons of the past. And as you rise, as you move forward, life begins to pulse around you. Colors emerge where before there was only gray. Vibrant fish swim beside you. Magnificent corals reveal that even in the depths of the ocean, where the pressure is enormous, life doesn't just survive, it flourishes, it shines, it thrives. This is the most powerful metaphor of your journey. You went through the valley, you faced the darkness, you looked death in the eyes and didn't back down. And now, Now you emerge transformed. The same waters that could have drowned you have become the setting of your greatest victory. The same ocean that harbors shipwrecks also harbors indescribable wonders. The difference isn't in the ocean. The difference is in you. You chose not to sink. You chose to conquer. And conquest doesn't mean absence of difficulty. It means presence of determination. It means that when the waves come, you don't question why me. You ask, what will this teach me? It means that when water enters the boat, you don't sit down to cry about your fate. You grab the bucket and start bailing out the water. Action. Always action. Look at the fish around you. They don't swim against the current out of pride. They swim in the direction they need to go, using the current when it favors them, fighting against it when necessary. Wisdom isn't never having problems. Wisdom is knowing when to fight and when to flow. Wisdom is understanding that you don't control the ocean, but you control how you swim in it. And then you see the ladder, the exit, the return to the surface. But this ladder wasn't there when you started, or rather, maybe it was, but you didn't have eyes to see it, because only those who dive deep have the privilege of climbing high. Only those who descend to the valley can truly appreciate the mountaintop. Each step you climb now has a different weight. Each step carries the knowledge, the experience, the scars, and the victories of everything you face down there. You climb, and the sun approaches. The light becomes more intense, the water clearer, warmer. You're returning, but you're not returning as the same person. Impossible. Whoever dives into the depths of life and returns is always an improved, stronger, wiser version of themselves. The pressures of the ocean floor didn't break you, they shaped you. Like a diamond that only forms under extreme pressure, you were forged in the depths and now emerge precious, rare, valuable. And when your head finally breaks through the water's surface, when you breathe that fresh, pure air, when the sun touches your face, there's an indescribable feeling. Gratitude, relief, but above all, pride. Not the arrogant pride of someone who thinks they're better than others, but the dignified pride of someone who looks back and sees the path traveled, of someone who knows they could have given up at 1,000 different moments, but chose to continue. No one can take that pride from you, because no one was down there with you. Only you know what you faced. Only you know the price you paid. And there it is, your boat, your yacht. Not necessarily a literal luxury yacht, but the symbol of the life you built, of your achievements, of the safe harbor you created through your effort, your dedication, your sweat. And there's nothing wrong with celebrating that. There's nothing wrong with being proud of your victories. You didn't steal this from anyone. You dove and conquered. And the people are there waiting for you, applauding, celebrating your return, your team, your friends, those who believed in you even when you doubted yourself, those who held the rope while you descended, those who kept the boat in place while you explored the unknown. No one conquers alone. But it is also true that no one can make the dive for you. You need to descend. You need to face it. You need to conquer.
Subscribe to the channel because you already understand that you are capable, and we are determined to help you.
And the journey continues, because true conquerors don't stop at the first victory, they sail. The yacht now glides through calm waters, passing by paradisiacal islands. Those same waters that were once threatening are now inviting. That same ocean that harbored dangers now reveals its beauty. Why? Because you changed. Your perspective changed. When you face your fears, when you dive deep and return victorious, the entire world seems different. The islands you pass represent possibilities, the destinations now within your reach. Before, you didn't even know they existed. You were so focused on surviving, on just not sinking, that you couldn't see the wonders around you. But now you sail with purpose, with direction, with vision, and each island is a new opportunity, a new adventure, a new treasure waiting to be discovered. And then they appear. The dolphins, jumping, playing, accompanying your journey. Dolphins don't follow just any boat. They choose, they sense energy. When you're aligned with your purpose, when you're living your truth, when you've conquered your depths, life begins to conspire in your favor. Opportunities appear, the right people enter your life, synchronicities happen, and you sail no longer alone, but accompanied by the very force of nature celebrating your victory. The sun shines intensely, not a scorching sun that burns, but a generous sun that warms, that illuminates, that gives life. It's the sun of your new reality, of the life you built choice by choice, dive by dive, victory by victory. And you realize something fundamental. Life didn't get easier. The ocean is still the ocean, but you became stronger, more prepared, more confident, and that changes everything. You look at your team on the boat, everyone smiling, everyone renewed, because your victory inspires others. When you decide not to sink, when you choose to conquer, you don't just transform your own life, you become a lighthouse for everyone around you. You show that it's possible, that it's not luck, that it's not privilege, that it's choice, it's courage, it's persistence, it's faith. And as the day progresses, the sun begins to set, but it's not an ending, it's a glorious conclusion. The sky paints itself with the most extraordinary colors: golden, orange, pink, purple. It's as if the universe itself is celebrating with you. And you realize that each sunset is a reminder: one more day lived, one more day conquered, one more day when you chose to win instead of sinking. In this moment, something profound happens inside you: gratitude. Not superficial gratitude, the kind we say without feeling, but visceral gratitude that springs from the depths of the soul. Because you know you could have given up. You know many do give up, but you didn't give up. And now you're here, sailing under a sky painted by God's hand, surrounded by people you love, living the life you built. And then you gather together, the entire team, inside the yacht, and in a moment of deep connection, everyone embraces. It's not just a celebratory hug, it's a hug of recognition, of respect, of love, because everyone there knows what it took to reach that moment. Everyone there dove into their own depths. Everyone there chose to conquer when they could have sunk. And together, you raise your arms to the sky in a gesture of surrender, of thanksgiving, of recognition that there's something greater. And when you look up, when your eyes rise to the sky through the yacht's opening, you see it, a divine image, majestic, radiant. God. It doesn't matter what you call him. It doesn't matter your religion or belief. In that moment, you feel the presence of the sacred, and you understand that you were never alone. Not in the depths, not in the darkest moments. Never. Tears flow, but they're tears of joy, of fulfillment, of duty accomplished. You look to the sky and whisper, or shout, it doesn't matter, "Thank you. Thank you for every difficulty that strengthened me. Thank you for every pain that taught me. Thank you for every moment when I thought about giving up but found the strength to continue. Thank you because I could have sunk, but you gave me the strength to conquer." And in this moment, you understand the true meaning of everything. It wasn't about the treasure. It wasn't about the gold at the bottom of the sea. It was about who you became in the process of seeking it. It was about transformation. It was about discovering that inside you exists a warrior, a conqueror, a winner who was just waiting for the opportunity to manifest. Sink or conquer. The choice was always yours. It continues to be yours. It will always be yours. Each new day is a new ocean. Each new challenge is a new dive, and you decide, will you stay on the surface, afraid of what you might find in the depths, or will you dive, will you explore, will you face, will you conquer? The answer is in your hands, or rather, it's in your heart. It's in your daily decision to get up, to fight, to believe, to not sink, to conquer. Because you weren't born to sink, you were born to sail, to explore, to discover, to win. So take a deep breath, put on your equipment, and dive. The ocean of life is full of treasures waiting for you,
but they'll only be found by those who have the courage to descend, by those who choose to conquer, by those who decide every day that they won't sink. The choice is yours. It always was, it always will be. Sink or conquer. You decide, and may your decision always be conquer. Today, tomorrow, always, because you are extraordinary. Never give up. It only depends on you, and God is with you. Now go, dive, conquer, win. Sink or conquer. The choice is yours.
Subscribe to the channel because we'll have new videos every day until you reach your goal. You are capable.